following is a production of Dirty Mo Media.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Dale Jr. Download, the Brickyard edition. And I've been looking forward to this episode because, man, someone's not here, and it's been kind of nice. But we've got a great replacement. Jamie McMurray, thank you for coming in.
Yeah. Are you excited that Dale's not here, or are you excited that I am here?
Both.
We just wanted a Brickyard champion to come on to host this race, and Dale couldn't fulfill those
That's
obligations.
actually a good point, yeah.
It's a great call.
Yeah, we just kept blowing tires when we had a shot at it. So.
I remember that year.
Yeah, it was a challenging year there. But this episode is presented by Arby's. Don't forget about Arby's' new Meat and 3 box. Get more meal for your money at Arby's. We have the meats. So what did you think about the Brickyard? I mean, what's your, overall race take? 40,000 feet.
Yeah, so I think you have to, well, first off, I think great racing is typically a lot of passing, and we didn't have any passing.
Yeah.
At Indy. However, the one thing that we talked about in our pre-race show is that part of what makes Indy special and so hard to win is that everything has to go your way. And you look at Corey Heim, the cautions fell right. They had the right pitch strategy. He did a great job as a driver. He was able to get the restart he needed at the right time. So it played out exactly, I think, how we thought. No one went into Indy thinking that it was going to be this, the leader's a sitting duck. You're going to get past.
Yeah, I feel like going to Indy, we always kind of feel like that. You know what I mean? Even 10 years ago, I think, when you went to Indy, you knew it was going to be hard to pass, and you knew you needed track position at the right time. And if you had it, you had a really good shot at winning the race. I think it's definitely more of a...
It's magnified now.
It's definitely magnified now, but, man, I don't ever remember going to Indy and being like, man, we're just going to draft up there and pass the guy.
It's never going to happen. And honestly, it doesn't happen. I feel like people will praise the Saturday races, but I think about Raja staying out on 25 or 30 lap tires and won the stage.
I know.
Now he wasn't going to hold it off, for multiple laps, but he did for two.
Justin played really nice with him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you're right though with Indy though. That makes it's everything's times 10 there, and you got to have the great restarts. You got to qualifying. You got to get cautions at the right time. Everything has to go your way, and everybody has to execute perfectly to win that race. And everything went Corey's way, and he executed in qualifying, race trim. The guys made the right call in the box and got the caution at the right time and was able to and be up there. And we all know Corey's super talented and going to be – he can get it done when he's out front. He proved that. I mean, he had – he held off the best of the best and won the race. So
it almost reminds you somewhat of a speedway race. Because if you go back to the restart, ultimately the restart cost Corey Heim the lead when Joey tried to make it 3 wide. And fortunately for Corey, we got a restart 3 or 4 laps later, and then he wasn't in the preferred position, but the Gibbs cars couldn't get connected and lined up, and so he got the lead because of a restart. But you can't take anything away from what Corey did throughout the whole weekend. I heard Bell after the race say how mentally tough that Corey Heim was to put it all together for the last 30 laps. And, as I was watching the race, preparing for the post-race show, the car was on edge. Like he was on edge. You could see him get loose. And the one thing we've learned with the, the Cup car right now is that there's no driving it yawed out, right? Like once you get yawed out, you spin out. So he did an awesome job being able to manipulate the air. And honestly, once he got to the lead, I didn't think there was any chance that Bell would ever pass him, mainly because if you go back to earlier in the race, when Heim was blocking Hocevar, I mean, he was on 35 lap older tires. And even though Hocevar he might have been 3/4 of a second faster, he couldn't pass him.
And he's super aggressive too with his moves.
Right.
And did you see, I thought I saw Corey get into one a few times, and I swear I could see the back skating on the entry.
I saw it off turn 2 a couple of times where he would get to the throttle and it just was like on the edge. And honestly, I was thinking, I don't know why you're driving so close to the edge when you're just going to air block him when you get to the corner.
Do you? I think sometimes maybe some of the balance shift in the car though, like you're really good in traffic, but if you get out front, the more air, like.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know exactly the situation that he was in. The one thing about Indy is that you can be in traffic a lot, but for the most part, that race just spreads out, and
it does.
And you
every
you
lap
have
gets
a
further.
little farther apart. Yeah. So, but you also just have to think of I'm telling you the pressure of those restarts, and he made me laugh because he came on Corey Heim came on the radio with, I don't know, I think it was 23 laps to go, and he's like, "How many to go?" And I feel like he was hoping they were going to say 10.
Yeah.
They said 23, and he was he just like shrugged, like, "Oh."
Even Saturday when Carson passed Ross for the lead, I looked at the amount of laps left, and I was like, "That's a lot of laps."
But
still,
it's a minute per lap for the most part. If it's 20 laps,
that's
you're
exactly
like,
what I was thinking.
It's 20 more minutes till this is over. Yeah.
And I'm up there like, man, we just got to lead. Oh, there's 20 something. I'm like, oh god, that's a long time.
I thought about Phoenix when he got to the lead, because I remember what other race did Carson get to the lead? Vegas maybe. No,
we were definitely leading Phoenix. We were leading Atlanta 2 weeks ago, but.
Oh, you're right. Atlanta also, yeah. And so a couple of those races.
Dover a couple years ago, like his second race ever, he was leading.
I remember that. You just never know in those. It also seems like the cautions will fall with the green, white, checkered in those events.
I know.
But yeah, man, those are long laps at Indy.
They are.
If it's 20 minutes as a driver, does it feel like it's 40 minutes? Does it feel longer?
Well, I don't know exactly how to answer that. I would say that from in the car, the other thing that makes Indy so much harder is there's twice as many corners. Like when you think about, 20 laps, I'm trying to think. Michigan is another one that has a 40-second lap time. You're really only running 2 corners. You have 2 entries, 2 exits. But when you get to Indy, turns 1 and turn 3 are incredibly difficult entries. And then the exit of 2 and 4 to make sure you get your lap time. So it's almost magnified. I think Indy would be the hardest track for those laps.
It is. And the 2 most important corners in Indy are 2 and 4. And Carson was really strong in 2. So I was watching, when he'd go out of my view, I would watch it on the computer and just kind of see where Justin was better, where he could catch him and things like that, and where we'd have, if he did get there, where we'd have to defend the most. Yep. But the O'Reilly car is unique, though, because if a guy gets close enough to you, it takes the back out of the track a little bit, and you can manipulate some air like that. But, yeah,
the O'Reilly race, though, of course, I'm in the booth calling it, and we've been so lucky for the last 2 years of CW having these races that it just seems like the fastest car is always in, like, 3rd or 5th at the end of the race.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm watching, I'm like, and I'm trying to do the math in my head. I'm like, well, there's 10 laps left. He's 0.3 a lap quicker. He's going to get there. Like you're trying to do that, and that makes it so much fun to watch those when the faster guy is running them down.
I was watching the times, and literally, Carson was really good in the corners, but just the draft, man, in those cars, like, just pulls you up. Yep. And like,
it's a good package for O'Reilly at that track.
Yeah, and they're on edge too. Like, they're not. Carson said, if you miss turn 2 by a foot, you were going to plow and have to lift on the exit, and
which is what it should be.
That's what it should be. It should be pressure like that. What do you think, Travis, about Corey's on the radio?
What do you mean on the radio?
Well, him.
You talking about his post-race interview?
Yeah.
I want this rivalry to continue with him and Hocevar.
I do too.
What do you mean post-race on the radio?
So I think when he said radio, I think he meant just post-race interview.
Post-race, after the race, talk media. Remember, he said some clips of, what did he say here, Travis? He said, we spent a lot of time. You guys love a guy who finished 9th.
They kept asking him about Hocevar, and
in the media center.
Yeah, and he asked what place did he finish, and they said 9th, and he's like, you ask a lot about a driver, and I get it. You just won, and you're probably annoyed. But, like, when you have a rivalry like this, you're going to get asked about it. And I'm here for it that they're kind of embracing it, though.
Well, to me, what's going to make this special is that I think they're both really talented. And for the next, let's just say 10 years, maybe 15 years, this will continue. I don't sense this getting any better. Carson is low-hanging fruit on he says a lot of things to fuel this. And the fact that, Corey is running as well as he is. I mean, listen, if Carson flips Corey off for 25th place, who cares? Like, nobody's paying any attention.
We probably don't even see it.
You don't. But the fact that the leader was essentially blocking Carson from advancing his position, and then they pit. I mean, like, you couldn't. It's perfect. It's
lined
exactly
up well.
what you want.
But I think you said it on the broadcast when they went to you guys at the desk a couple weeks ago on the pre-race set. Hocevar said, "If you want a war, bring it." Well, which you asked drivers to bring it, and guess what? Your enemy was in front of you, and he did what you asked.
Yeah, and so the Carson Hocevar thing is it's a challenge from my perspective of being on TV, and I have tried really hard to explain my position on this, and it has not come across correctly because I read the comments on social media, and I'm like, well, that's not what I meant to say, because the reality is I like Carson. Yeah. I think he is exactly what NASCAR, the sport, like, you want someone who's willing to say just the random stuff he says.
It's different.
Yeah, it's totally different, and he's fast, which
makes
helps.
It better.
My take on Carson is that I have, as an analyst, I'm there to analyze what a driver thinks. And so I'm putting myself in the position of the other 30 guys that he's racing against every week. And I can't help but think I'm like, just put the shovel down, stop fueling the fire, because you can, and Denny said this, I believe, you can make one guy mad. Like, if you want to make Corey Heim mad, that's fine. But you can't make everyone mad, or to me, what we saw happen on Sunday, where Carson's just trying to get his lap back from the leader. You can't have everybody against you. But what I have learned is that I should just embrace what he's doing and just go with the flow on it.
It is unique. I mean, we haven't really had somebody come along in quite a while that just.
There's been, listen, he's one of one.
He is, yeah.
Like, there is no one else, and I feel like he has bonded with Cletus McFarland, and it's almost like he's taking his success and speed and ability with a good team now, and has brought in a little bit of Cletus to the equation. I heard Carson say on Sunday, during an interview, the last words out of his mouth were like, well, hopefully we can sell more T-shirts. And I'm like, well, he's a promoter, and like, I don't know that maybe he believes everything he says, and it doesn't matter to me now if he does or not, because it gets good clips and we all laugh about it, and we talk, like, every week in the TV world, his name comes up because it is a talking point. So he's doing probably exactly what he wants to do.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's what's the saying? There's no bad coverage, or in the news.
Any PR is good PR.
Yeah, any PR is good PR. Yeah. So he is doing that every week, but he's back. The biggest part to me is he's still backing it up on the track, because if he doesn't have speed on the track and is competitive at times,
you have to be relevant.
Totally. If you start to not be relevant, that fades away and it doesn't become a talking point anymore. Someone else is going to be in there. So it's important that he needs to be fast still, and he's doing a great job at that. I mean, he laid down a heck of a lap for qualifying. Yeah. So it's fun to talk about and fun to see. It's not fun to race against at times as a competitor. So
no, and that's what I tried to get across, and everyone was taking it that I didn't like him. It has nothing to do with whether I liked him or disliked him. It's that I was trying to put myself in the position, if I were Carson's coach, like, what do we have to do to go win a championship? I would say, don't do what you're doing right now.
You're making too many people mad.
If you make everyone mad, it's going to be whoever wins the championship this year, someone's going to cut him a break. A couple of people are going to cut him a break, because maybe in the past you cut them a break, right? That's just how
comes around.
Whether fans want to believe that or not, being a good guy goes a long ways in a lot of these scenarios. And so as I watch everything he's doing, I'm like, you're never going to get cut a break. The guy's always going to stop short in his pit stall to block you in just a little bit.
One race is all it takes.
It's all it takes, yeah. And so my perspective on that was always trying to be, and I think I used it because I have a kid that races, and so I used it as like, well, this is what I would tell my son, Carter. Like this, I wouldn't do that, and here's why. And every time I would say that on TV, people would be like, the hatred for Carson Hocevar continues.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
because
it has nothing to do with that.
Yeah, you're like, it's taking away from the show.
Yeah. And then listen, fans, and this is and I agree with them. And I sat next to Jimmy Johnson for the last 5 weeks, the greatest guy to ever sit in a car. And Jimmy's only fault is that we never got to see the real Jimmy. Like if anyone, like, and Dale kind of brought up the Jimmy Jam thing.
Oh yeah.
And like what Jimmy was like away from the racetrack. If somehow we could have tied in who Jimmy Johnson was away from the racetrack to what he could do on the track, he would have been without a doubt the all-time favorite.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know how you could be.
Or he might not have had a job actually.
Yeah, he might not have. Yeah. He might not have. Yes. Yeah. Jimmy was a lot of fun.
He's a lot of fun, but Jimmy would drew a line between those two. And I think that's a fair argument that fans make that, you know, drivers were very corporate for so long and that they, you know, just wouldn't show exactly who they were. But times are a little bit different now. And because of social media and the fact that the best social media content is just real, just be who you are. And if you're a little goofy or if you're not, you know, just crisp and corporate, it's okay. And to me, that's opened up what we see from guys on Saturdays or Sundays. They can be a little bit more of who they are, and it's acceptable.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I always go back. Denny always brings up it's about deposits and withdrawals.
Yeah.
And right now, I don't know how much deposits he has to then use.
But the one thing that I am really jealous of with Carson Hocevar is that he has fun when he races.
He does have a lot of fun.
His radio is
I know, like I could never, like when I got in a car, I just was like, I wanted to win and I wanted to do everything perfect and right. And I never really relaxed and just enjoyed the moment. And I mean, he seems to really enjoy everything he's doing.
He does, yeah. Even honestly, and sometimes in the not so great days too, he's still, I mean, he's doing a good job of that. Travis, you want to talk about your favorite part of the show? Denny Hamlin gets control of the race. Honestly, when Denny got control of the race, I was like, man, it's going to be tough to get back around Denny here.
I need some content real quick because I listen to, obviously, Denny's podcast, and I listen to this weekly, every week. I don't really know what the Denny Bros is. What is that?
Well, you're sitting in the seat of the guy that created that saying.
Well, actually, he came up with the term, but he came up because of like you and.
But who are these people?
It's like him.
It started out as because I do his podcast and root for him and friends with him, you know, Dale, and I always tweet about him during the races. So then Dale then started calling me the Denny Bros. Well, then it grew to the other friends of Denny's that go to the races and hang out. And so, I mean, we have a chat of.
You have a text chain? Is that what you have going on?
There's about 7 people in it, and Denny's in it. Denny's actually the one that renamed the group chat to Denny Bros.
Oh, he's definitely went with it.
He'll read the text post race. And kind of figures out like what moment you're referring to.
On the flight home, he'll read through it, and it's like this past weekend was lively. There's sometimes where it's not as crazy, but it's entertaining. The Denny Bros are actually we're going to Richmond, and they gave us 3 campsites, and so we're actually going to go up and tailgate.
How many people are there?
I think 7 of us are going.
Okay, you have 3 campsites for 7 people.
We need some space to party.
It literally reminds me of us, like maybe 15 years ago. Like we all traveled as a little group.
Yeah,
almost everywhere. I mean, you were at a lot of events, did a lot of things that we did too. Yeah. So, I mean,
that's fun.
Yeah. Good. They have a good time.
So they have a little bromance.
They have a little bromance. Travis is. Are you the ringleader of this group?
Oh, 100%.
I knew it.
But it's funny, though, is people on Twitter are like, oh, you're obsessed with Denny. I'm like, sorry that I root for the guy that I produce his show and as a friend. Like, would you like me to root for Ross Chastain?
I think it's fair.
Yeah.
And you are a little biased. But that's okay. You're invested
The
as
internet,
well, right?
The internet hammers him.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Oh, they get so
Oh my
upset.
God.
They hammer him
It's
really
pretty
bad.
funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, that restart, I honestly think he would have been better off not telling Lambert to go talk to the 20. Just focus on your start, because I think then the 20 spotter goes and talks to the 19.
Well, everyone's listening these days, so we can't relay messages on restart stuff. Going back to Atlanta, the O'Reilly race, Carson's leading the race. We have the 39 pushing us. I was working with Fidua, but I told Carson I would tell him what we're basically going to do right when we're getting to the zone, because if you say it a lap before, everyone's building a game plan.
It's like so here's what, and Dale and I talked about this on the flight home. The one thing that I noticed that Denny didn't do on the restart that you see most people do when you're on the inside is put your hand out the window when you're going to accelerate, right?
Yeah,
Because
you're calling to you.
and just so that you understand it, if you're listening to this, if you're in the outside lane and you put your hand out the window and you wave, the inside lane knows. Like, so it doesn't really do any good if you're on the outside. But if you're on the inside, they can't see.
Yes.
And I didn't see Denny's hand out the window, and I just feel like that would almost have been better communication than the verbal over the radio.
If you're on the inside lane, yes, you can definitely do that a lot easier. In like Atlanta, we were outside lane, so we had to do what we could to protect it. But yeah, you're right. You can, a lot of these inside lane restarts, the driver normally just calls them up to, hand out the window, go.
Yeah.
I'm going to go when you get to my bumper.
Travis, I feel like that probably should have been in the Denny Bros text of like, hey, Denny, why didn't you put your hand out the window?
So I did ask him about it in the show yesterday, and
you did.
I forget what he said though, and I'm mad at myself now for his reasoning. And then Jared asked, "Do you think you should have been better off?" We asked him about. He talked to Bell. He didn't talk to Briscoe, but Bell said that Briscoe was pushing him early, and then Bell's trying to lay off, but he can't. You can only break so much.
Denny said they started pushing him like way before the zone,
and so then he's like, "I can't go," and he's fearful of Nashville now with the restart.
Yeah.
And so he said he's like kind of on the break a little bit. And so it sounds like they just went early.
Yeah.
But I think to your point though, all you have to do is just tell the 20, like, hey, please don't get out of line. And
I think we knew.
And then do the hand.
We probably felt good that Bell was going to stay.
He's
in
not
line,
going to pull. He's not going to do what Logano did to Heim.
Oh,
Yeah.
you can't do that in the cup.
But you're not going to win, right? Like
No.
you're just screwing your teammate then.
You're screwing your whole inside lane. Like,
Yeah.
we all know that now. Going into turn 1 at a mile and a half, if a guy dies to the apron, the outside lane's rolling.
Yeah,
So
totally.
it's almost not even an advantage anymore to do that move.
Yeah.
And so I think if they just would have done the hand, but like this is kind of their MO lately. I mean, think about Charlotte. They messed up the restart. Him
What
and
happened
Bell.
to Charlotte? Oh yeah.
I can't remember.
Yeah,
what
I
happened,
mean,
Charlotte.
and I would say but Indy, like if you're way back in the line, it's hard to see the restart zone. But if you're in the front 2 or 3 rows, you would know exactly where that is.
Yeah, they got marks on the walls
Yeah.
and fences. So
It was heartbreaking for Denny though, and I would say that from my take, because I've been friends with Denny for a long time, and I think he's just one of the greatest to ever do this. I want to see him complete that, like all of the crown jewels.
Mhm.
In fact, this and the championship are the the races that he still has on his list, and he has been so close so many times. And I'm with you. Once he got the lead, well, if the caution doesn't come out, they're not going to pass him back. He's going to
no,
win.
they're not passing him.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
I agree.
But unfortunately, the caution did come out.
Yeah.
And then to just pour salt on the wound, Denny lost his momentum when Heim blocked him between 1 and 2, and for the next mile and a half, cars just went by.
Oh, I know. He ended up
I'm like, oh.
he ended up in fifth
Fifth
in
or
front
sixth,
of
yeah,
front of Brad.
Fifth.
And I was like, okay, well maybe Denny's going to open the doors, and he almost got the 19 a couple times, but he couldn't even get around him. So, or did he get around him at the end, Travis?
No.
Yeah, so he had a couple runs
He
where
was faster
almost
than him,
got
but he
there.
just
Well, nobody passed.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a fact. Like once you got single file,
Yeah.
there
And
was no passing.
And that was, I mean, Denny was quite a bit faster than a 19 right there too, and he couldn't do anything with him. But yeah, I was actually surprised. But another thing too is, man, the kid in the 67 is super aggressive too. So even if they go into 1, he's going to be all over Denny's door. Like it's going to be a tough restart at Indy because you don't really have time to really, I don't know, everything like.
That's a weird environment too for Corey Heim to be in, where Denny's your owner. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's such a...
Yeah, I don't think Corey sees that, though. I don't know.
Either, and I like that.
Yeah, I do, too.
But in all honesty, I don't think Reddick or Bubba view it that way either. Like, when you watch...
Oh, no.
Denny's made it clear.
They
Think about
race.
Denny could have made it more clear than Kansas.
Yeah. Denny's
they
made
do.
it clear. Sunday, he is not your owner.
Yeah. No, and I mean, for me watching, I can't help but be like, that's your owner and that's my car. But there doesn't matter. Those guys do a really good job of just making that another car on the track. And I'm with you. Corey Heim's very aggressive, but he also seems very calculated. Like, he reminds me a little bit of Denny, where when you ask him a question, when they ask those questions in post race, and Denny does this a lot, he thinks for just a second before he answers.
You can tell he's like,
It's not just first thing that comes to his mind. It's a little bit of, it's a well thought out answer, and the blocking between, he knew he didn't have a good turn one, and then he moved down to block, and I don't think he did anything wrong in that moment.
I don't either.
But yeah, the aggression level is high.
Oh, I mean,
It's high.
the aggression level now from where it was like 15 years ago is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like,
But that is evolution.
It
Because
is.
without a
Definitely
doubt,
evolved.
15 years ago, I remember the guys that had been around were like, why is everyone so aggressive?
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't seem aggressive. You're like, well, this
Yeah.
is just what we do.
3-1 on restart was like, oh, that guy's crazy.
Yeah, we have
Yeah.
500 miles.
Yeah,
right?
why are you doing
that's
that?
right.
It's lap one. And now it's
Yeah.
like, now you're 4 wide and it's expected.
Yeah.
So,
How do you think Heim will do next year? Where like this one, he had like 3 weeks to prepare, and Booty said after San Diego, he's had 3 weeks to prepare for San Diego, where he's gonna have to go week in and week out, and he's not gonna have.
It gets harder without a doubt when you have to do it every single weekend. I just think naturally
Yeah.
that gets more difficult. But what Corey Heim, like, his timing of all of this is perfect. The fact that he ended up at 23:11 when Toyotas, I mean, they just win every weekend. If you're in
how
a
many
Toyota,
years was he in the trucks? I mean, he ran trucks for 3-4 years, something like that.
yeah,
Like,
I
he
don't.
he was
know
in
off the top
trucks
of my
for
head.
longer
For a
than I
while.
thought he ever should have
Yeah.
been. But it's paying off now
Yeah,
because, like, you know how it is. Timing is everything. You got to get in the right cars. You got to get in the right equipment.
it's everything. And he's done that. His timing's just been perfect
Yeah.
for all of that.
Mhm.
But I don't think that's just by chance. I mean, I heard the rumors that he had an opportunity to go to some other teams quicker and waited for this opportunity to come along. So I think he's done an awesome job of putting himself in the right position. And you have to just assume at this point in the year that Toyota's still going to be really good next year.
It might be, the playing field might level out a little bit,
Yeah.
but they're still super fast.
Yeah.
And that's, you know how it is. Fast cars.
Yeah.
Make.
I mean, what's impressive to me about Corey as well is the tracks he won at. Like, he won San Diego, and it wasn't because pit strategy put him out in front and there was a wreck. Like, he passed Tyler Reddick, who you could argue is as good at road racing as anyone.
I remember looking back at that race because he kind of faded early, and this is my favorite part about his San Diego win is he made the first run. We started like 20th or something like that. We actually ran Corey down and passed him before that first yellow.
Brad?
Yeah. And,
on a road course?
Yeah, and Corey was fading.
Damn. Okay.
But for Corey, this is the impressive part to me is Corey just didn't panic, let everything kind of come to him, and didn't throw his race away. And still at the end of the race, there he is. Like, and that's how you have to keep your head in the game the entire race. And I feel like he is really good at doing that. Like, okay, you might be a 14th place car right now, but you get the right, you get the right caution,
right
make
pit
the right
stop,
pit call,
right everything. Yeah.
Bam, here's your chance. And he knows how to connect the pieces. He can do that in the beginning. And when his time shot comes at the end, he can make it happen.
Yeah. No,
So-
he does. He does everything right.
He did. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the most impressive part is like a lot of guys, when you're fading in the beginning, oh, it's just not my day. I'm just going to run 75, 80%, not wreck and stuff. But Corey knows how to connect the dots.
Yeah.
You know who didn't connect the dots? The 60 team. I'm still trying to connect the dots.
Well, the 60 team, Ryan Preece didn't have a great qualifying effort. Was kind of off strategy all day, but they were off strategy to put themselves in a position to get the caution if it fell right. And man, did it fall right for him. And he jumped from high 20s, low 30s to the top 5. And what a break. So ran up there, ran top 10, I think, for a while, but he was in a really good position at the end I think he was the best on fuel out of all the cars, and they decided to go with 4 tires instead of, 2, and
TJ's just like,
lost a little track
just
position.
going all the way around the whole
subject. I was surprised, but
I don't want to be critical of anyone, but there just seems, and unless there was an issue, like he thought he had flat spotted a tire or wasn't going to make it to the end, without a doubt, they'll look back on Monday and know that two tires would have been the right call. And I also would say, going back to Indy being hard to pass at, 2 tires has won that race more than 4. Like it just whoever spends the least amount of time on pit road is who wins.
That race every time. Track position
every time.
And they were going to come out at worst 3rd, but probably 1st. Like he needed less fuel than Heim did.
If you put,
did they have so I don't have enough information to be critical or to really discuss this. Did they have an issue like on the right sides that made them then say, let's just go ahead and do 4?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, that stinks.
Yeah. I do think if Preece gets control of that race, he's going to be hard. Anybody gets control of that race.
Yeah.
Especially, Preece is no slouch in the seat, and you put him up front, he's going to be really hard to get around. So
that's where I wish, if depending on where you finish, you might be part of a media scrum, but you may not get talked to. Like, this is where I wish there was a way to ask them, like, why? Like, because we're not going to find out. And by the time we see them again, no one's talking about the race then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a hard, oof.
That's
a
he's
long
probably
plane
kind of
ride
happy.
home. Yeah.
Denny's,
yeah, definitely.
We were asking Denny about it, and he goes, I don't know. He goes, why do you take 4 tires in Phoenix?
That's true.
That's a good point.
Sometimes you make a call and
yeah, and that's every week, man. But you got to give them credit for the call they made to get be in that position, though.
But this one seems a little.
I think the one thing that's really hard for us to evaluate is the why. Like, you'd have to go back and listen to everything else that led up to that, because there could have been something where he's like, I think I have a flat. Like, I don't know those answers. So if he's like, listen, I think the left rear is going down.
Yeah.
Well, then it makes a lot more sense. So
they did have a tire issue, I think, in practice, right? Yeah. So maybe there was maybe they didn't trust something.
Maybe something fell off.
A vibration, or who knows?
Yeah. I'm going to defend them because I think it's so hard to Monday morning quarterback, but
it is
without a doubt they're going to write in their notes for the next 40 years 2 tires.
Yes,
2 tires.
I do think you got to give them credit for not having track position early and doing things to give themselves the shot. Because it's hard to do that too. Those guys kept sacrificing their track position to take more fuel to be in a spot to do that.
What's hard for me as I'm watching that race on Sunday is it seemed like Ford and Toyota were like, we're going to run as long as we can. For the most of those teams all ran as long as they could, and Chevy all split it up.
Yeah.
But it looks really good temporarily, but if you can see an hour down the road, definitely running as long as you could was the better play. Maybe that's because of the caution with Larson. Maybe that could have changed a lot of that for those teams. But boy, it just
we were basing ours a lot off of when we thought the guys around us would pit, and if we could pit, where would we cycle? Would we cycle to clean air, or would we cycle into traffic? And if you could cycle to clean air,
it's worth a lot, huh?
It was worth a lot. And if the guy in front of you is going to short pit, and you got half a trailer in front of him, okay, go ahead, I'm going to run long.
Right.
So you were basing a lot of it off the lap time you could run.
Yeah.
So, but that's part of Indy to me, though. That's what makes it Indy is you're.
And that's what, like when you asked me to start the show, was it a good race? It depends on how you want to rule what a good race is, but Indy's Indy, and it's always been about strategy, track
100%.
position, least amount of time on pit road. So it was just a typical Indy race, and you had to be perfect to win.
I don't really need to go to Indy and have.
You're never going to.
Well, I don't need to go to Indy and have these big slingshot passes every straightaway, like defending these huge runs. I don't need to go to Indy and have that for it to be a good race for me. I know going to Indy, like you said, you have to execute everything perfectly. You have to get a little lucky at two in there to pull it off, but you have to execute everything, man. And it's not, I don't mind that. I don't mind everything having to be, the pit crew having to be perfect, the strategy having to be perfect, the driver having to be accurate every single lap to hold his position. Like, I don't mind a winner coming from, that happening to him and doing that. Like, I don't need these slingshot and these big runs and stuff. Would I like to see more passing? Yeah, faster cars could get to people.
We want to see more passing.
Yeah.
You definitely want that. You want the
more. I just want to see
second
some.
place car, if he's faster than the first place car, to have at least a chance to get by him. We definitely want to see that.
I would like to see just not be stuck. If you get to a guy, have some tools in the toolbox to be able to get around him. And the drivers are very limited to what they have to do that right now. But Indy, to me, and this has been a big topic as well, is it a crown jewel still? And to me, it is still a crown jewel. When you go to Indy and you look at that place, and it's the Brickyard, man. You don't drive up on, when you drive up on the racetrack still, you're always like, man, there's a racetrack. It's always that, man, that's pretty cool. No matter what track you drive up to, but you get to the Brickyard. We watch we watch the Indy 500 in May, and we kind of get pumped up for that, and then we get our chance to go there and have a race, and that place is prestigious, man. Like, you go there, and it's still, when I look at the schedule, I still notice where Indy is, and I still notice, you watch the victory lane celebrations on the front stretch, and you see these things, and it's really, really special to win there still.
So what makes Indy a crown jewel, and it would make any race a crown jewel, is that it's one of the few races that teams have always tried to bring their best car to.
Mm-hmm.
It's also one of the 4 events that if you, and I don't want to take fans out of this, but ultimately what makes it so special is that everyone that has a hard card in the garage, if you took a poll of the 4 races you want to win this year, or one of the races you want to win in your career, it'll be Daytona, it's the Coke 600, it's the Southern 500, and it's Indy.
It's Indy, yeah.
And as long as the garage area feels that way, it's going to be a crown jewel, because they put so much emphasis in wanting to win that event. I don't think there's any argument that like that track is about the Indy 500, but for as long as I can remember, every driver, team owner, crew chief, crew member has wanted to win at Indy. And that's not the same, and not to take away from any of these other tracks, but like nobody lines up at the beginning of the year and is like, really want to win Pocono this year. Nobody says that. Yeah. Like it's a great race, and it is still a win.
It's still awesome to win, but it's just
it is not Indy. And Indy is in the same category as those other tracks that we mentioned. And listen, I have had the opportunity of being able to win the Daytona 500 and the July or the summer race at Daytona. Mm-hmm. They're not even close. Like it's no one even talks about. Do you remember when you won the Daytona July race? No one talks about that. Everyone talks about the Daytona 500. I also have won the Charlotte fall race twice, but I've not won the Coke 600. People don't talk about.
Well, you're not going to forget the first one.
Yeah, well, that's fair. But I'm just saying, like, the other thing to me that makes Indy unique is that we have only ever raced there once a year. So there's significantly less winners ever at that racetrack, and that's the way it's always going to be. Mm-hmm. And it's not just because it's Indy; it's because it's Indy on the oval. Because winning on the road course it was just another race.
It wasn't.
It was nowhere near the same. Yeah. And I really appreciated Michael McDowell pointing that out this weekend. He's like, listen, it's just not the same thing. So there's no doubt, I think, in the majority of fans' minds, and I think 100% of the garage area, that is a crown jewel race.
Yeah, I agree. And you've got to be on that front stretch after the race with the bricks after a win. It's just different. I mean, you look down them long straightaways, there's so many grandstands, and you think of the history of the place, the pagoda stand right there, the victory lane, like the ride up to the victory lane where it's at up there on the stage, and man, it's just different, man. It's Indy, like it's never gonna change. You know, I think this is my 21st year going there, and it's still the same. Every time you drive through that tunnel, you're like, man, this place is pretty cool. Like,
Yeah.
And I know the racing's not the greatest, but I know going to that race too that it's going to be a battle. It's going to be, everything has to be perfect, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
So
What do you think? So I reached out to some people on both the IndyCar side and NASCAR side yesterday because I knew we were going to talk about the race and whether it was a good race or it wasn't. And one of the questions I asked was, you know, in my mind, when I watch the Indy 500, I'm like, man, it's always a great race, right? Like they're always lined up and snaking down the straightaways. So, you know, I asked that question. I'm like, well, why is it on this big flat track that IndyCar puts on such a good race? And before I could end the sentence, someone's like, well, it's a fuel mileage race. They're like, you know, they qualify at 235 miles an hour and then they race at 217. And the difference being in IndyCar, they can adjust their fuel on the wheel, right? You can change the fuel map and it doesn't make as much power. You're still essentially running wide open, but it allows those drivers to get to the number that they need to be. And I'm like, I hadn't thought about it. It's essentially kind of what we've seen at Daytona and Talladega for the last 3 or 4 years. So I also ask, like, well, what do we need to do to make the racing better at Indy? Like, how do we create passing? And something that stuck out to me this weekend that you don't see on TV, but as I watched lap times, is the O'Reilly cars. We're going to say put on a better race, I think for sure. Mm-hmm. They were 5 or 6 seconds a lap slower than the Cup cars, but you don't see that on TV. Like you can't notice it. You can't notice it. So, you know, I asked the question. I'm like, well, why don't we take our Atlanta package and run it at Indy? Like, why don't we do like because to me, you're going to have to slow the cars down enough that you can, I don't know that you have to run wide open. I think that would be key to be able to run the whole track. I don't know if you can slow them down enough, but the one thing that the Cup car does have is this massive tire on it that allows you to have a lot more mechanical grip.
Gosh, the tire's huge, yeah.
Yeah. So, and what I'm encouraged by throughout the sport is that we're going to go to Daytona in a few weeks with something we don't even know what it's going to do, but they're trying. They're like, we have nothing to lose.
I appreciate that for sure.
And I think at Indy, I think we have nothing to lose. I think you go and you try something, and if no one can pass for the lead, you've made a lateral move. You haven't lost anything.
Yeah, I am definitely like the steps they're taking, and we've talked about it. I mean, Denny has said a couple years ago, Denny said to take the spoilers off the cars or something similar to that, and to make it where, you know, the cars are a handful, because like back, you used to see cars back into the, like, get in there too hot and wreck. Like now there's none of that, and there's definitely no, when you catch a car anyway, you don't have any tools to maneuver anything around and make it hard on him. The only thing he's got to do is look in his mirror, which now is even easier with the screens they got in there. They can really see a bigger picture rather than maybe like when you used to look out of the mirror when you're running, you could see the roofs kind of move a little bit, right? You couldn't see. Didn't have these TVs like they have now, and
I'm not a fan of those.
I don't either, because it makes it really easy.
I think it puts that spotter's job in jeopardy, TJ, and I don't think we need to do that.
I think we need to take.
I don't know. Now I like them.
I think we need to take those out of there and just use a mirror. So
I do too. Like I'm with you on that. I know the drivers like it. And I think there's maybe somewhat of a safety aspect to it, but it could also be argued that they're more aggressive because of what all they can see.
Oh, they're 100% more. Look at the blocks into one.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and you know, when you're going down 77 here, you don't trust that camera when you're changing lanes. You know, you're still I think it gives the drivers an extra level of comfort. Anytime the drivers are more comfortable, they're gonna. It makes it. I don't want to say it makes the racing worse, but when the drivers have their hands full and the cars are hard to drive, we see some of the best racing. I think
I'm going to argue with you. I think we have to be very careful, and like Denny is going to freak out on me when I say all this. I think we have to be very careful at listening. I think it has to be 50-50 driver and NASCAR, driver and engineer driven on how you get to the rules, because at the higher speed tracks, it seems like, I know all the drivers are going to say, I want less downforce. Like, I want less downforce to make better racing. But I'm going to go back to the old Atlanta when we didn't have any downforce and the track was slick and we fell off 4 seconds, it was hard to pass. Like it was a parade around there. And it seems to me that in the last 4 years, when they created the next gen car, we had really good short track racing and great road racing, but we had horrible mile and a halves. They were just, I was like, they might go off the schedule. They weren't very good.
Yeah.
There wasn't
the short, Martinsville was bad.
Even prior to the next gen.
No.
No, what I'm saying is like when they developed the next gen car, the road races prior to that were that's why we added 7 of them to the schedules because the races were good. Yeah. And the short tracks were pretty good.
Well, that and Chase
right?
was winning all of them, so.
Well, that helps. But my point is, when they went to the next gen car, the mile and a halfs got really good, and the drivers will still complain a little bit about being needing clean air, but man, you think of, like Charlotte is a really good example. That race was horrible, and then the next gen came out, and all of a sudden it turned into one of the best tracks that we have, like the racing that you see there.
Yeah,
and I would say Kansas or Chicago, Vegas, most of those mile and a halves now, I think you can't ask for more. Like,
no, I do think the mile and a halves
it's really good.
However,
really good. The short tracks, they're not good. They're not good. The road races, they're not good unless you're SVG. Yeah. So to me, when we talk about making things better at Indy, I don't think it's about taking downforce off. To me, it's about making it to where the maybe you slow the pace down and the draft's more important. And it's more of a drafting style race. I think that would help. I do think though at Martinsville, anything 1 mile and under, taking it away, not allowing shifting, figuring out how to not have shifting. Yeah, having a lot of lap time fall off. Like, because at Martinsville, you're defenseless. When you lose drive, you get past. Like, you just can't.
Oh yeah.
You can't get out of the way. So I think there's and they're doing this more and more now. The fact that we can have a different set of rules for each track or for each type of track, to me, is what's going to ultimately make it the best.
Yeah, I think the mile and a half package is great. I do. I think the mile and a half, it's a lot of momentum and a lot of raw speed, but I like. What I think is a good compliment to some of this is the fall off too. I like tires to be hurt in the beginning if you drive too hard and pay for it 25 laps in. You know what I mean? I like the mile and a half, but I like tracks that you can hurt the tires, and it puts the driver more into play. I do think, I don't know what the answer it is at Indy, but
no one does either. And so I think you have to just try.
We
something.
don't go there enough to. Yeah. We don't have a lot of experience.
Right?
It is very
it's
unique.
Massive, flat,
long straightaways, really
totally
sharp corner.
Different.
Yeah.
My favorite part of mile and a half races right now, and I would say the 20 car of Bell, Adam Stevens do the best job of this, is if the stage or if the end of the race is 80 laps long, there are some guys that pit, halfway and then they'll run this long and it looks like it's not going to work. And then in the closing 5 laps of the race, Denny is another one that will do it. I think that's so much fun to watch. I love the fact that you don't really know who's going to win until it's over.
I do. Yeah, these races are still tough to win. I mean, they're super hard to win. So, what do you think about cautions, Travis? You got a lot of complaints there?
If we have a caution like 5 or 10 laps before the end of the stage, just call the stage there. Let's get the pitting going. Let's restart. Then it makes it more interesting because now crew chiefs are having to change up their game plan because now the strategy changes on them. Like we went the Kyle Larson caution to come back green for 1 lap and then go yellow again. That you want to make fans fall asleep? There you go.
Yeah, it gets tough. I do think there was some opportunities at some points here to have some quickie yellows, when you had back-to-back cautions like that, but sometimes they fall at the wrong times, and it definitely makes, depending on the severity of the incident too, makes it hard on race control to get back cleaned up in time. I thought they did a good job of getting back 1 lap there, but you're for a lap though. You know what I mean? Like,
they have to fix this. It's a
problem.
This is a no-brainer. They have to fix this. As I'm reading what you wrote here. So Larson crashed at 2:58. It says.
Yep.
We had a 14-minute cleanup. Is that right? And then we ran 1 lap green.
Yeah.
And then we didn't go back to green in stage 2 until 3:26. So 28 minutes from Larson's crash to a 1-lap restart.
That's a long time.
That's a long time.
That's
It's
a
a
really
problem.
long time.
They have to address this, and to me, they're going to have to sit down with the teams, because it's you still have to make it fair to the teams, because there's a lot of effort put into strategy but if the teams know going into it that it could change, this has to be just for the better of the fan watching, because I lose interest in 28 minutes of
What
around.
do you think? What do you think the answer could be, though? You know, like if you get a caution within 10 of the end of the stage, that's it.
I think it depends on the track. Like at Indy, 10 laps is a long time.
I mean,
at
Indy,
Martinsville,
Daytona,
10
there's
laps
a lot
is-
of them. Yeah,
10 laps is, I think you could. I think you have to come to a common ground with the teams and NASCAR, and some of this will get blamed on TV. I don't.
So
think
ARCA does this. You know that, right?
I don't.
They have a halfway break, and in their meetings, they say, hey, if it's a 100-lap race, they're going to say there's going to be a caution. If there's a caution on or around lap 50, that's going to be it. But if there's no caution, they'll throw the caution at lap 50. But if they get a caution at 44, they might say, hey, guys, this is the halfway break here.
Yep, that makes sense.
This is it.
I just think we have to find a common ground between TV network, NASCAR, and the teams of what's fair and what's best for the product on TV, because no one wants 28 minutes of what's happening here, because you just lose interest on what you're watching.
One lap for, and then 28 minutes.
Well, here's the other problem.
The ratio's not good.
And 1-lap shootouts sometimes are expensive.
They are very
create, and I can't imagine the teams.
That's what I was worried about. When you get 1-lap shootouts, you got guys that are going to be even more aggressive and
sometimes and not necessarily in the Cup Series, but for sure in trucks and O'Reilly, you get guys that should not be up front. Like they stay out,
too,
right?
yeah.
And then you do get a wreck or a stack up. And I don't think that's better. I think there's a better process of how to do these breaks that we could eliminate some time, and I don't have the answer.
But I don't think it's a TV thing, though, because TV can't be happy with 28 minutes of nothing, because they're worried about a fan might flip over to another sporting event and not come back.
I guess what I mean by that, Travis, is there's no doubt that TV is going to have an allotment of time built in for a commercial break at that stage break. And I know that I do TV. I don't know all the details of exactly how that works. So don't assume that I'm not telling you something, or that I know, because I'm not 100% sure, but they definitely have a time built in for that. But they still have to do that. If we go back green for 1 lap, they're still going to have to work that in. So I think that's what I mean by, like you said, TJ, at Indy, if the caution comes out with 4 laps to go, and we know that at best case scenario we're only getting a 1-lap shootout, then but I think what's really important is that we know that rule going in, not hey,
plan for it.
It's pretty close. I don't know. Maybe this week we should try it. I don't think that's the process. I think the process is we set a standard of, at this track, if it comes out within 4 to go, then we're gonna
4 to go.
If it comes out, but if it comes out with 5, we're not changing the rules, because we might have a long caution. I just think we set a standard of what it needs to be.
To me, it needs to go back further, because at 4 to go, 5 to go, or 4 to go, you're probably not going back green most of the time.
Probably not. Yeah, you're right. I guess so. Let's say it different then. At Indy, if it comes out, if we say 7 to go, and it comes out with 8, then we can't change the rules for that.
I mean, I would just make it 10. It's an even number where, hey, if the caution comes out, we're going to lap 60. If it comes out on lap 50 or after, that's the end of the stage. We're going to run our cycle, and we're going back green.
And then
adjust your strategy as you want.
That's the best part, is now these crew chiefs are having to change the strategy, and things are going to get interesting, because now you might have a car that's up front. Well, they messed up the number, and they're a lap short on fuel or whatever. And so, it adds to the intrigue as a fan.
I would be fine with that. I think it would be fine. I mean, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge for some, because it's going to change some fuel numbers and things. But like most time, the second stage is already shorter.
Well, yeah, because you run 4 or 5 laps under caution.
So if the caution comes out at,
especially on Saturdays, that second stage gets really short.
Truck races, like a truck race at Pocono, was like 10
don't
laps.
Need stages.
No, I hate it. But just pay the points and keep racing. I'm fine. Like if you're fast, you win. Like
they're really short.
All right, you guys, something big is going on at Arby's, and if you're ready to seriously upgrade how you do meat and cheese, you'll want to hear this. It's bold, it's craveable, it's meat and cheese done right. This is the new Arby's cheesesteaks, and they're here, and they're on the menu for good, which means you just found your new favorite. Arby's brought lunch to the shop last week. Carson was one of the first ones to dive into the new 100% Angus cheesesteak, and he said it might be his new favorite. The cheesesteak is a total upgrade compared to other boring meat and cheese out there. It's got this rich and melty Cooper cheese that's the real deal, straight from Philadelphia. That's how you know it's good. The new Amoroso's sesame seed bun gives you the perfect balance of crispy yet soft that really makes this cheesesteak elite. For real, this will change how you think about getting lunch in the drive-thru. Why settle for a run-of-the-mill burger when there's Arby's cheesesteak right around the corner? This is an authentic, higher-quality sandwich. Burgers wish they could be this good. When you're craving something that's just better, Arby's has your new go-to. The new 100% Angus cheesesteak. Prices may vary. Third-party marks are the property of their respective owners. Get your Arby's Angus cheesesteaks delivered or at an Arby's near you today.
All right, so big win for Carson on Saturday. I was very lucky and fortunate to be a part of it and you know, go through all the victory lane stuff. It's very special, but Carson's been so close so many times. I mean, 2 weeks ago at Atlanta, he has the car, the push behind him runs out of fuel. Phoenix earlier this year, he doesn't cut the dog leg enough, and they get inside, and he kind of gets used up and was going to probably win that race. Carson's been in position to win this first Atlanta race. Corey Day gets inside of him and gets into him and takes from the lead. You know, I feel like Carson's been so close so many times. It was really great to see him finally break through and get the win. What do you think?
I think what makes this so special is that, and I'm going to go all the way back to, I believe it was his second start at Dover. He comes on the scene after winning all these Cars Tour races, comes on the scene, looks like he's going to win in his second start. And I'll never forget Regan Smith going and interviewing Travis in the middle of turns 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I grew up with Travis, like in late models back in Wisconsin. We raced together, and then we kind of moved through all the series together. And I was like, what a moment this guy's getting ready to have with his kid,
Mm-hmm.
going to win a Xfinity race at the time at Dover. And the restart, I don't remember exactly. The restart didn't work out. He ends up.
Yeah, just didn't
I think
drive.
he chose the inside.
No, we chose the outside. Okay. And
were you spotting for him?
I was.
Did
yeah.
you make that lane selection?
No, we were in the right lane. We just didn't drive into one hard enough.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
You know what it is at Dover, though.
No, I know.
Like, that's a tough
I was
place.
just kidding
So,
with you. But
yeah.
to me, I go all the way back to that and how close he came. And then all of last year, I feel like Connor Zilic just overshadowed Carson.
I agree.
And I have somewhat of the inside, right? Because I know all these guys, and I also know what it's like to be in that position. And for Connor, it could not go wrong last year. Like, even when things went wrong, they still won.
Went right, yeah.
It just in everything that he was doing.
And he's paying for it this year.
He is. Oh, the law of averages will catch up with all of you. But I just think about how hard last year was for Carson to watch his teammate have all that success. And whether he would admit it to us or not, there had to be some jealousy and bitterness of like, why does it keep going his way? So that's what makes, to me, this so special, is to watch the struggles. You mentioned all the stuff even just this year, but also knowing, and I think Dale's emotion when they interviewed him, he was having and at first he had his glasses on, and I'm like, what, is he choking? Like, what's happened, right? And then when he took his glasses off, and you're like, oh, he can't get it together. And we all, man, when you start crying, the more you try to get it together, the worse
the harder
it is.
Yeah.
But then when he just talked about, he wants it so bad because he wants to see people, drivers that put the effort in, be successful. And he's watched Carson throughout his career put all this effort in, and he wants to see him be successessful. And to finally get there and knowing that you have to win in order to continue on in this, I mean, it couldn't have happened at a better
stage.
track. Yeah. I mean, yeah. And then the moment that we all saw kind of happen live through social media with Travis's dad being I think they were at Langley.
They were at Langley, yeah.
With
Hampton
Caden.
Heat. Yep.
Yeah. And watching on his iPhone. I mean, like, and then the fact that Caden won that night also.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
What a
just
great night.
what a great day for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, super cool moment. It was really fun to cover live. Watching it on the CW with those guys, and just when someone wins a race like that, and you see the burnout, and you're watching the team, you feel obligated to talk and try to explain what they're thinking. But the reality is they just want you to not talk, and like just because everyone watching at home already knows the vibe and the emotions that are going on, and it's really fun to get to watch that and be a part of it.
It was a win that I felt like the racing world wanted to happen. Like he was the driver, so it's like it wasn't just junior motorsports fans, and it was everybody. It was like, let him get this win. He deserves
so close.
this.
Yeah.
I mean, he was in the Champ 4 last year. Like, people forget that, like, he didn't win, but like consistency, and he's second in points this year.
Yeah.
Like, he's just steady Eddie out there. He just hadn't been able to get that win.
And what I hope for Carson, and again, like I talked about with Zilich kind of overshadowing him last year, like Justin's doing that kind of this year, right? Like within this group. I mean, he's winning all these races, and that's hard to come back to this shop and they unload the trucks, and you come in for the debrief, and you're like,
yeah,
well, Justin won again, right? But I hope that him being able to win gives him the confidence. And
he's
that
clawing
team.
away at it.
Totally. It's
He's
not.
totally
This
clawing
wasn't
away
a
at it.
freak thing that happened.
No,
like, he's been so close so many times.
And working with Carson every week, I mean, I've been there for basically every start he's made, and to see him, and you never know how young drivers are going to be. Are they going to be lazy, not wanting to put the work in during the week? Are they going to want to put the work in? And every week, we set a really good standard in the beginning, and sometimes you let him go. Like, I'm not going to text him on Monday. I'm going to see what he does this week, see if he wants to work on stuff. Carson, I mean, it's not Monday evening, Monday, Tuesday, and then usually we have a little pre-race deal for ourselves on the night before we go to the track. Just I put everything I have on a hard drive for him so we can watch on the airplane again. And we like nights and weekends where you have a practice the night before and then you race the next day. It makes it so much. We can go back and look at the data and stuff and go over lines and what people are doing. And then I feel like we're really ready for Saturday. But Carson, he can't get enough of that. Like, he can't. Like, I got back from the truck race on Friday, and we're getting ready to look over a film at 11:30 at night. Like, and then he had a meeting the next morning, and he got out of that meeting, and at 9 o'clock, we're sitting there watching it again. So it's fun to see a guy like Carson come from where he did, not know a thing about O'Reilly racing, to just be thrown into there and have to learn it, to see him grow and adapt and learn and race with these guys. And I've seen it from the very beginning, and he does get overshadowed a lot, but he puts a lot of work into this, and everything
That will pay off.
It's gonna
100%. That will.
And
pay
I
off.
tell him, I try, as I've been doing this a long time, so you try to guide him too, like, hey, this is what, this is how it should be. You try to keep him, you try to guide him a little bit as well. But he's going to be a Sunday guy at some point, and I think he did get overshadowed a lot, and I think you're getting ready to see a lot more of Carson.
I love hearing that about him, because I just have zero tolerance for laziness. I spent my whole career, I'd come home on Sunday and pout, and I would wake up at 4:30 or 5 in the morning. My wife would be like, "Where are you going?" I'm like, "I don't know, but I'm gonna get up and try to figure this out." Because I wanted to be more successful than I was in racing, but it was never from a lack of effort. And so when I see kids that put effort in like that, I'm just naturally a fan. Yeah,
Carson, he puts in more effort than probably any young driver that I've worked with recently. He definitely, there's no slack in that department with him. And you can see it paying off.
Yeah.
So, all right, it's time for the Lionel Ultimate Racing Collector. This month's selection of our Ultimate Racing Collector, presented by Lionel Racing, the official die-cast of NASCAR. Lionel Racing is your go-to source for all of your racing die-cast needs. Check out the latest pre-orders at lionelracing.com. And this month's winner is Blake. He sent us an awesome video here.
Ooh, I think I see one of mine.
That
made me feel good.
Wow. Yeah,
those are all signed. You
Look
think
at
he's
that.
trying to get those signed?
Davey Allison, a Larson sprint car in there.
DC Solar, that's vintage.
There it is. Oh, he's got a helmet. Look at this case.
Oh, dude, look at all the Texaco Havlin
Yeah,
stuff.
there's
I had a bunch of that when I was a kid. Davey Allison, Texaco Havlin.
some of them are probably definitely yours.
Probably some of them, yeah. I feel like he's collecting more of the brand. There are mine down there. Oh,
there's
wow,
yeah,
there's
that
a bunch of mine.
Yeah, that's. Yep.
Oh, I'd tell you what, this
Is
guy.
this a family member?
This is actually my basement. Yeah. Oh my God, look at all of those.
Some of Juan's cars there, right?
Yeah.
And I'll admit, I didn't know.
I mean,
I didn't pick this because I didn't know your car or anything, so I didn't pick this because of.
Well, that's great. Look at all those cars.
I mean,
That's his 401k right there.
holy cow!
Oh my God, he likes Larson too.
He's got even more. Oh, look at all these cars.
Holy, I mean,
I wonder how many are actually in this room. 200?
easily. He's not done.
Good for him. That's awesome.
Man, what a
I
collection!
wish I was that passionate about something.
I mean, that's dedicated.
It is.
I mean, he went from the early days, a lot of Texaco stuff there.
Yeah.
From the early days all the way to the Juan stuff, the COT car. I saw a COT car.
Yeah. That was cool.
Yeah, it was pretty neat. Yeah, that's
Wonder
what a
who his
collection.
favorite was, because it's like it's changed, right? Like it looks like it ended at Larson.
Blake, we're gonna post this. Respond. We want to know who your favorite is.
Yeah.
You
gotta
know
hear
what I honestly think he's obviously a Larson fan. Seems like more recently because I saw a sprint car, Indy car.
Yeah.
But leading into that, it looks like he was a Ganassi fan.
That's what I thought, because I saw 42. I saw my
Yeah,
car.
there was.
Then,
I mean,
and
if you
then Juan's cars,
go from DC Solar to Texaco Haviland to the
Big Red.
the gum
Yeah,
car. I mean,
know.
I feel like you're a Ganassi fan.
Yeah.
But that's a cool collection.
That is.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
really awesome.
Good for
Yeah,
him.
thanks for the video. All right, it is time for Ask Junior, but not really Ask Junior.
Ask
I guess
Jamie?
Ask Jamie. Yeah. This segment of Ask Jamie is going to be brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity is waving the red flag on internet price hikes and raising the green flag for savings. Now you get the speed and reliable Wi-Fi you need. Locked in at one price for 5 years. No surprises, no late yellows, just a straight shot to victory lane. And just like that, folks, we've got a winner. Xfinity, imagine that.
All right. So first question. People want to know. It's been a topic brought up lately. What's your guys' takes on qualifying in the metric, and do we need to make a change to it?
I vote for a change.
I vote for a change. All right, it's done. We'll start next week.
I want.
You can do it next week.
I want it to go to the ping pong draw
Oh,
again.
Me too.
I do.
I'm 100%
I want it to go-
fine with it.
I'm telling you, when you used to go over, like, it was fun. Like,
It
you go
was,
over
yeah.
there and you're like, we're
You could
screwed
send a
this
truck
week.
driver. You could send somebody
Yeah.
else. Like, who's going to be lucky this week?
I don't think the metrics. I think the metric is fair if it rains. I think that's completely fair. That it doesn't have to just be based on owner points the way it was. I think that's fine, but I would like to see a shakeup in the qualifying. I
don't like the metric if it rains because
well, what do you want it to be set on if it rains?
so if you go to Watkins Glen, you get crashed out in turn one. SVG wins the race. You go to next week, and say you're 10th in points. I think it should be more points based. That should be a heavier factor in there.
It is already though, right?
I
think the points are a bigger factor than.
I think it should be a much bigger factor. I don't think it's enough
maybe
factor
not.
to me
I
because
shouldn't have said that because I don't.
we did
I don't
rain out
100% know.
somewhere. Remember, was it after the Glen that it rained out?
Yeah, and SVG started. Up
yes,
front. Yeah.
like was it Charlotte? Something like that.
Might have been. I don't remember.
I don't remember either. But
I think you're right. It was Charlotte.
because I just don't. It's so hard to come back from that, and like if you're
70% is off of the last race.
Oh,
Last
70% off.
Yeah.
So
I think that's too much.
So let me back up. I'm fine with the ping pong draw, but I'm also fine with reversing practice order. Like I don't, you know what I mean? Like whatever. I think that then people.
What do you mean?
Well, like if you're fastest in practice, you go last, like in the 20-minute or whatever they're given each weekend, because that's going to change soon.
Yeah, I mean, I like you're still gonna have a lot of the same guys, same group. Like to me, the random.
Yeah, but if who can we use? Who's a good one? If William Byron crashes out this week, I don't think it's fair that he gets hosed the following week in qualifying. Like I don't.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like I don't think
Yeah.
your finish this week should matter that heavily
Yeah.
on your qualifying draw for next week if it rains, like something like that. Like I don't. To me, it should be the other way around. It should be, 70 or 80% points, and then you'll finish last week because you got to the points.
We have
this
butchered
year.
this because I didn't know the rules.
Well, how have you got? If you're 5th or 6th in the point, anywhere in the points, how have you got there this year? Consistency.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't be penalized.
Wonder how they ended up on 70% from last week's finish.
Try hard, man. You want to get everything you can do to finish. Winning, you're in.
I guess.
The one thing
Why'd you roll your eyes at the ping pong draw?
because
that was before he was born, so he doesn't understand.
No. Because is this a professional thing, or is this 5th grade basketball? You're talking about fair.
Yeah.
Like that's where you guys are losing me. Is like,
What's more fair than random?
You know what I was told as a kid? Life's not fair.
Life is not
So go out
fair.
there and perform. And if you're like, I'm okay if you want to change the metric. I'm okay if you just go off the standings. That's the order. But like,
the only reason
Of course you are.
Part of the reason I like the ping pong draw is because I think it will shake things up.
That's
and
the
I
thing.
think it will. And so I'm viewing this more from an entertainment perspective than I am a competitor's. And so I would like to see a good car start mid-pack or towards the rear because they got a bad draw. Because to me, that provides entertainment of watching them work their way to the front versus if they are consistently the fastest car and they get the best draw and then they start on the front row. I'm like,
Less passing.
I don't know. Like I see your point. I don't, and I think that's fair if we're being fair.
yeah.
But I think from an entertainment perspective, it could be better.
I just think with the random, there's nobody to blame. There's no if you get the good draw that week, you get the good draw. And I mean, it's how it was. I mean, you knew like sometimes a good car had to go early. And it's like, oh man, he had to go down and try to lay down a lap. And you had cars that weren't as strong, have good draws, and then they started better, and it made their weekend. They had a little bit better pit stall.
Yeah.
Like this, it just makes it where you like right now. Once you get buried and have 2 bad weeks in a row, it is ridiculously hard to come back from it. A lot of it's because of qualifying, because you don't. The 2 groups you get to go and you're not in the good fast group. Your track's going to change.
It is fascinating to me. And I'm assuming it was always this way and we did not know. It's fascinating to me that once the rubber gets picked up,
How much the speed
it is unbelievable. The different, you can take an average car and qualify well, or a great car and struggle if you're in the rubber. Like I love watching the screen show the before and after and how much rubber gets picked up and the difference in lap
dude,
time.
it's the shades.
And I just
way
wonder,
different.
like, I feel like forever we thought it was because it cooled down, and I don't know if it was that as much as it was just the rubber getting picked up.
It's a
off
lot
the
of the
track.
rubber. Yeah, the guys that go out early pick it up and
Yeah.
speed it up. Like, but it'd be nice to be like, hey man, we got that late draw this week. We're gonna And then you, like I said, everything kind of you get a better pick for pits. You get everything just goes easier at that point. And
I see your point, but I'd like to see it. I think you could. I think it should be changed.
Yeah, if you're fast, you're still like the fast cars are still gonna qualify
Decent. Yeah.
So, but it just makes everything. It just takes everything from being.
Here's the other thing. I don't think that it should be a talking point every weekend, and right now it is. I don't think we should be worried about talking about the metric every single weekend. When they interview someone in qualifying, if they go out early, they're like, well, we know we're in trouble because of the metric. I don't think that should be a talking point every single weekend.
Yeah, I think it should be, we got that good draw this week. We're going to go out early and try to lay down a lap and see where we end up. And, I honestly feel like it would create more storylines for better.
It definitely would.
For the better, you know, I think it would.
Yep.
What do you think?
I think if you want to slightly tweak the metric, but I don't want to go to a pill,
ball,
a ping pong ball, whatever you want to call it. Like I want performance to dictate. Like this is professional sports. We're not like we're gonna give ribbons out for everybody and like orange slices and Capri Suns afterwards. And sure, we can go to random draws.
Well, it's a whole new event. Like it's the playing fields.
Travis, opinions are like
Everyone's
everybody
got
has one. Yeah.
Like I don't know. We didn't have a problem with it for however many years.
Well, I'm trying to figure out why they even changed it.
That's
like
me too.
That's what because there's a reason that we changed it. People didn't like it, but I don't. It was COVID, wasn't it?
It was
COVID what
yeah,
created the metric?
Because we didn't qualify. We showed up and
Right.
raced.
That's
we never
exactly
practiced.
what it was.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, hell, if it had to do with COVID, Travis, it's over. We're not using it anymore.
Yeah, we need to go back to where it was. And then
pre-COVID.
Let's go back to how it was and prove me it's broke at that point because it was not broke before that point.
No one about it before.
No, we didn't really. Like,
I know.
if you had a bad draw, it was a bad draw. You went out and ran your race, right?
Yeah.
Like, we didn't.
During COVID, didn't they do the ping pong draw at?
Oh, they did it like on a video. You had to watch it. Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Like it wasn't broke before, so why can't we just go back to it?
Yeah, I like that.
Speaking of asses, this was a big question. How embarrassing was it when they showed your ass on TV?
I've told this story a couple of times, but you guys
What
haven't
happened?
heard it. Are you serious?
I didn't know.
You really don't know.
No, I don't know.
So I ran a modified. You really don't know?
No.
I ran a modified race with Carter. My
I do
son,
know that.
at Franklin County.
Yeah, I saw.
And I was involved in an accident on lap 14. So I was out. The car was damaged. And the trailer that we were pitted out of is probably 50 foot long. Okay. And my gear bag was over the tires of the trailer. So kind of towards the middle to the back. And I've never worn underwear under my fireproof underwear because I think that doesn't make sense. Like, why would you wear underwear under underwear?
Yeah.
So, like in the cup world, I would change in my motorhome, or you had the lounge.
Yeah,
like,
the lounge. You go up and change the lounge.
Give me a second, right? Yeah. Well, at the short track, you just go change.
You miss. Yeah.
So I knew I was done. So I got my clothes out. I walked to the very front of the trailer. I faced the front of the trailer, and I did it as fast as I could. Like, I kind of looked around. No one was there, and I ripped them off. And what I didn't know,
the doors are glass in the back.
No,
maybe?
no, the doors. It was wide open in the back. I didn't really care about that. I mean, we're at the track. No one's really paying attention.
It's short track.
But there was a drone that was shooting my car in the pits, and it was shooting right up in the trailer.
Oh.
And so I changed my clothes, and when I got, literally, I changed my clothes. I got back to my bag because I went to put my gear in it, and my phone's like, and I'm like, what is going on? Well, my wife was the first text message, and she says, my mom just texted me. She says she thinks she just saw your naked bottom on TV. And I was like, oh my God. I'm like, well, there's no way. Like, how could they possibly? And then Elliot Sadler texted me. He's like,
even better.
man, I saw your naked ass on TV just now, like laughing. So yeah. And then fortunately, Turner started our first pre-race show at Sonoma with that footage.
Oh,
so,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna wear my underwear next time.
When
I'm racing again next week.
I'm not gonna lie. If you get a text from Elliot like that, you got to be a little nervous. Like,
oh, it's so funny. Yeah, he made me laugh.
That's
so
hilarious.
Much. Yeah,
I miss his humor.
Elliot's so funny,
dude. I miss his humor.
Hermie has a modified team that Luke Baldwin drives for, and I ran a couple of races for them, and it's the same team as what Carter's with. The cars are owned by some different people. But Elliot and Hermie are at the race, and I'm telling you, it's just like it was 20 years ago.
Oh, I bet it's a lot of fun.
It is so much fun to get to be around those guys laughing.
Yeah, it's a good group.
Next question. Somebody wants to know, your hair is amazing. Do you use gel or hairspray to keep it that perfect?
I use it's called a Veda control paste. If you're
paste,
paste,
not a gel, it's a paste.
And I should get Elijah here to come home with me one day and just do a little social content of the 4 seconds that I spend fixing my hair in the day.
That's more than 4 seconds.
No,
buddy.
it's not.
No, that's the funny thing is that people think that they spend so much time and it literally takes 3 seconds.
I just put no effort.
You're just good at it now, though.
I don't know. It just listen. This is what I was blessed with, and
hey, it's not bad.
It is what it is.
Could be worse.
Racing and hair.
Congrats to Todd, by the way.
$1 million.
Yeah, $1 million.
I wonder what he gets. What are they going to give him?
I don't know, man.
I think
10%. I don't know. I'm just.
He better get more than
15.
10%.
I hope.
He better.
That's the thing is
30 or something.
None of these drivers have these in their. I mean, this deal just started, so nobody has this in their contract.
What do you guys think about that? Not do they have it in their contract? What do you think about the bracket?
He's a Denny bro.
Well,
so
the bracket idea came from our show, but I do think it.
You know what I want to see him do?
Humble brag.
It's losing some luster.
I think this will be more fun. I don't mind. I don't think it should be a bracket. I think it should be $1 million, And the way that you qualify for that is you take the 5 races, and if you win the first race, you're locked into the final. If you win the second race, you're locked in. So when we get to like Indy this year, you'd have
your
4
finals,
guys racing for the million, and it's 4 guys that can win. And I'm not taking away from Ty Dillon or Todd Gilliland in that, but I can't even think who's won those 4 races leading up to that. But I think that would be more fun because it just doesn't like the last 2 years you get to Indy and you're like, well, I don't know. It's lacking.
I don't really read into it too much. You want to I don't really look into it too much. We're going to go and run the best race you can. And
I know
you're not really changing your strategy for the bracket, but it's, if the
But
fans
if you
like
had-
it's fine with me. I don't mind it, but
I would rather bring like Dash for Cash back and like spread that $1 million out over and like do something where, because this is just.
I thought it was a great idea when it was first announced. I'm like, oh, this would be cool, right? But it hasn't lived up to that hype.
what did you think about remember the Winston Million, the no bowl races?
Yeah.
Those were kind of when we ran those.
I
feel
don't
like those were
remember how
bigger
that
deals.
worked. I feel like it was only one guy, but you had to win like 4 of
No,
the
there
5.
wasn't there like 3 or 4 guys in it.
Well, there was.
There was
but
the Winston No
but-
Bowl something. There was
I thought you had to win X amount of races in order, like, because you remember when Jeff Burton wrecked Jeff Gordon, or Jeff Gordon wrecked Jeff Burton at Darlington.
at
He was like, man,
Darlington?
it was for $1 million.
Yeah.
But I feel like I don't know. I thought you had to win in order to get it. Maybe not.
There was definitely something to qualify into it that was, but I remember it being a bigger deal. Like if you had that fluorescent spoiler, it was like,
yeah,
that weekend was like you noticed
Yeah.
it. So
yeah.
Next question here is they want to know, do you have any good Sterling Marlin prank stories?
oh my god,
Appropriate for this show.
there's not much Starling.
The
that's
only
appropriate
so
for the show.
I will tell a quick one. I tell this one a lot. So my rookie year, Casey Mears, my teammate, and I looked up to Sterling. I can remember, obviously I had filled in for him those 7 races in 2002, but I really looked up to him. I'd seen him on TV all those years, and
great dude.
And you know what it's like when people don't look the same in person as they do on TV. And so like when I got to be around him and I don't think starstruck is the right word, but I was a fan. And so it was kind of cool to get to be around him. And we used to go, every team would go to Talladega in like December and do those just horrific 3-day speedway tests where you just run 2 laps at a time, come in, get in another
Sit on
car.
pit
2 laps.
road.
It was, they were terrible, but we went down there as a team, and Ganassi had expanded to 3 cars this year. And so it was Sterling, Casey Mears, and I. And at the end of the first day, we get done at 5:00 and it's getting dark at Talladega. In December at 5:00, the sun's going down. It's starting to get dark. And Andy Graves was a team manager at the time, and he came in the garage and he's like, "Hey, Chip would like to," and I didn't know Chip very well either. None of us did, right? Because Chip was somewhat new to NASCAR at the time, and I had not been around him except for like the signing of my contract. He's like, "Hey, Chip would like to get everybody on the phone and just talk about the day. So what we're going to do is we're all going to go get in the pit crew van, one of those big 15-passenger vans, get in the van, and we'll just put it on speakerphone and everybody can talk." I'm like, okay. So the crew chiefs, the drivers, the engineers, we all kind of cram into this 15-passenger van. And I did notice that Sterling wasn't in the van. And so anyway, they act like they're calling Chip, and they put it on speakerphone. And what had happened was Sterling had put one of those little quarter sticks of dynamite underneath the van that we were in. And I'm going to tell you something. When it went off, I knew it was a prank, but I also saw fire shoot up the sides of the van, and the van kind of rocked. And I was like, what if this goes wrong and the van blows up? And so then there's Sterling laughing. So it's pretty funny. Another one real quick, you can use whatever you want here, but we also used to go to Kentucky and test a lot. Just a lot,
yeah,
man.
Nashville and Kentucky.
Engine tests, do a lot of engine tests, just durability tests. And we were there in December, January. It had been snowing, like the track. There was snow like on the infield, but the track was dry, and it was so cold. You would come in the garage, and they would shut the garage door behind you.
Yeah,
and
it
they
was
had all
that
those
cold.
space heaters on,
Yeah.
right? And so we were doing an engine test, and I think they had changed engines, and Sterling was driving the car, and the engine guy had primed the pump. So, you take the dry sump belt pump off,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they would prime it, and then you put it back on.
Put it back on, yeah.
Well, Sterling grabbed an extra belt and threw it under the car. And
Oh,
so
God.
they shut the door, and
You back out.
when he got in, he started, he's revving it up, and he went to back out, and the engine guy looked down and saw the belt and was like running, and they're like trying to shut the door, and he hit his head on the door trying
my
to get
God.
out. And the guy's just melting down because he thinks
it's
the belt's
about-
off.
yeah.
Yeah. And of course the belt was on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sterling was funny, dude.
Dude, I got to work with him. He was the first full-time job that I had his last couple years there. And man, I've actually asked him, and that dynamite you were talking about, we're not talking like,
It wasn't a firecracker.
no, we're not talking firecrackers.
No, it
Cause I
wasn't.
asked him like, hey, I asked him one time, like, Sterling, can I get, some dynamite? We want to, blow some stuff up on the land. He, hold on, takes his flip phone out. He calls this guy. Hey, he goes, Johnny Firecracker. That's what he's, hey, I need some firecrackers. All right. And it was like a week later, I got a brown bag. He said, keep them in the fridge. So me and Topher and Dell Jr., we blew so much up.
Dude.
It's so fun.
Sterling, he was just one of a kind.
He was.
He was an awesome guy. He was a really fun teammate to have.
Yeah.
And he had plenty of stories.
Yes. Like, I really enjoyed. I got to work when I first started racing. My first year was doing pit practice stuff at MB2 Motorsports, and I got to be around Kenny Schrader, which was, I went from Schrader to, had a little bit with Boris said. I got to work with some really good guys, like personalities, and Sterling was, just a fun dude to be around,
Mm-hmm.
like really good guy. And I really enjoyed my years with him.
Yeah, he was one, like we were talking earlier in the show about how aggressive it is now. I remember Sterling being one of the guys being like, what's the hurry? We got 500 miles to get there.
Yeah,
like at the start of the race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In practice, I'd tell him, guy, this is when you and Dale Jr. would get up and run the fence at places, and I'd be like,
Where
all
are
right.
you going?
I'd be like, hey, they're running the top, finding some speed. I'm looking at, stop time and stuff, and I'm like, they're getting faster and faster up there. And he'd go up there and try it. He'd be like a lane and a half off the wall. And he'd be like, oh, can't run up there. It's too loose. And I'm like, what? But
you have 8 feet to go.
Dude, more than that, yeah.
Right.
But he wasn't running that fence. But no, he was a lot of fun to work with.
He was.
So you mentioned Jimmy Jam, and now Johnny Firecracker sounds like a good alter ego. Do you have an alter ego when you've celebrated any of your wins or have had a good time?
Yeah, I was curious because,
I think you'd be disappointed.
I don't know, man. I've been on some trips with you, and you've ran hard.
I had my moments. I definitely had my moments in like 2002, 3, 4. But like most of us,
what define
moments?
a moment? Yeah, like what's one of them moments? What flashes into your head?
I know what you're thinking. I know.
What's he
know.
thinking?
I know what you're thinking. It's a Cabo trip. If I had
Oh,
to
yeah.
guess.
Yeah,
I might have unleashed some clothing
on a balcony
and twirled it above my head.
to Petey Pablo.
To who?
The Petey Pablo song. That's why you was,
I
the
don't
spin. The helicopter song, right?
Yes.
Hey, dude, you were up there. I got a picture of it somewhere.
I'll tell you a good
picture
story.
of it.
I'll tell you a good story. And Dale will be involved in this, so it'll be fitting. I don't remember what year it was, 2003, 4. I didn't know Dale at all. And we were parked next to each other in points. And I was driving Finch's Bush car or rally car at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And Finch told me, he's like, hey, if you and any of those boys want to come down, I have a condo in Panama City. And I'm like, okay. So I went over to Dale like the next week, and I had never talked to him. And I'm like, hey, I said, Finch has a condo down in Panama City. Said like maybe for spring break, if we want to go down there, like I think Elliot and I are going to go if you want to go. And he kind of looked at me and he's like, all right. And so I'm like, okay, so we're going to go. So I think Elliot had a plane. It might have been Dale's plane. I don't remember whose, but we decided we were going to leave from Bristol and fly down to Panama City. And we get on the airplane and we're all kind of talking and this leads up to what you're talking about. I remember I told him, I was like, man, I don't stay up real late. I'm like, I'll go pretty hard till about 10:30 and then I'm done. And I don't remember, I think it was Dale. He's like, have you ever had Red Bull and vodka? And I'm like, I have not. And he goes, you're going to be just fine. And so we got to our trip, and I got introduced to Red Bull and vodka.
Yeah.
And by God, I made it till about 6 a.m., I believe, that next morning.
I'm sure he did as well. That was also the tabloid trip.
National Enquirer.
National Enquirer. Yeah, that's where you guys ended up in the...
It's the foam pit. Yeah, there was... Yeah, we're not talking about all that. That we had...
Wait, you said foam pit in Panama City?
Yeah.
Was that Spinnaker's?
Could be.
Or La Vila?
There's no way I would remember
I don't.
that.
Honestly, I don't remember. I remember... this is what I remember about that trip. I remember the National Enquirer being there, and Elliot had M&M's as a sponsor. I had Texaco Havlin, and Dale had Budweiser. 2 of the 3 sponsors were not very excited about what might come out on National Enquirer, and it wasn't Budweiser.
No.
Yeah. So, but I don't remember. I don't even remember what came out of that. Like we didn't.
It ended up being like nothing.
We didn't even. I mean, we didn't do anything wrong. We were just having fun. You know, we were all just. We're just hanging out. Like it was just we're just partying. It was a good time though.
Most of the trips we went on, when we would go check into the resort or wherever we were staying, the room was stocked with Bud Light and Budweiser. So
yeah. I mean, I don't remember. We never did anything.
No, we were. Yeah, our trips were always.
It was just fun.
We talked a couple weeks ago about the Cabo trip and some of the fun that we got to have on there and I mean, it's just, I look back at it now and there's a lot of good memories that I have and some fun times. So,
oh, yeah, really. I mean, I'm just glad I got all that out of the way.
Like smartphones too.
There was no phone. Well, we had Nextel phones. Maybe.
Yeah,
but not like iPhones.
There was no camera.
There was no,
or if there was,
no
it
camera.
took such a grainy photo you couldn't have distinguished it.
Someone must have had a digital
photos.
camera. I have I think it's on a computer that I don't even know how to turn on anymore. There's a picture. I have a picture of you on that stage.
Jamie's going to burn that computer.
I do on that balcony.
Wow. We should leave it on that computer. I'll tell you that.
I mean, we could probably pair it up with your changing at the short track and see.
I had the top off in one and the bottom off in the other. That'd be great.
And you left. I don't know. Remember? Did you leave before the bar fight that night or after or during?
I can tell you that I'm 150 pounds, 5'8". I wasn't near any fight.
Yeah.
I know that for sure.
That was
one of Dale's friends. Wasn't
it was Adam. You remember Adam?
I thought it was
Martin's buddy.
Oh, Adam.
Well, Casey started it.
Shocker.
Casey started it because he was talking.
Casey would get pretty tough when he'd drink.
Well, he told this
he
guy.
Would grow.
He was talking to this girl, and this guy liked her. And Casey looked at him and he said, "Look, if you're gonna hit me, hit me." And that dude punched him in the face. I was standing right there, and then Adam, Martin's buddy, he hits that guy. And then the next thing I saw is a chair hit Adam and knock him down. I'm like, oh my God, we're all going to jail.
I was definitely not there for that.
Yeah, I thought we were all going to jail.
Yeah.
J.R. Rhodes.
I do remember buying the I think I still have it. Those hats with the horns.
Yeah.
Viking hats. Do you remember those?
Yeah, I do remember those.
I remember they were like steel hats with horns.
Yeah, I do remember
and
them,
we walked around.
We walked
for days with those on our heads.
Thought you were the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, I don't.
Well,
yeah.
thought.
We thought.
A key word there.
Hey, we were cool to ourselves. That's all.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was
we
fun.
thought we had a
It was
good
harmless.
time.
I will say, foam parties I think are overrated.
Oh, I wasn't into that. I wanted to get above it and just look at everyone else enjoying it.
I went to one at Spinnaker's in Panama City, and
people touching each other. I'm like, I need out of this right here. I'm not into this at all. Yeah,
Jamie Jam didn't like that.
Jamie Jam was not coming out there. No.
Well, I think that might be a good spot to wrap up this segment before we tell too many more stories.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea before I lose my job.
All right. Xfinity is waving the red flag on internet price hikes and raising the green flag for savings. Now you get the speed and reliable Wi-Fi you need, locked in at one price for 5 years. No surprises, no late yellows. Just a straight shot to victory lane. And just like that, folks, we've got a winner. Xfinity, imagine that.
Hey, this is Dale Earnhardt Jr., and for all the latest Dale Jr. download gear, including the I'm'll Drink Some Beer t-shirt that we've been talking about here around the office, head over to shop.dirtymomedia.com for all the latest merch.
All right, it's time for the Dirty Mo Dose segment. And this Dirty Mo Dose segment is brought to you by FanDuel. Let's see.
No Russ today.
Yeah, no Russ. Kind of nice. No Russ, no Dale Jr. It's actually been kind of fun.
enjoying this because
it's
Russ rags you a lot too.
I don't. Yeah, Russ is hard. I do actually slightly miss.
Russell does this show every week.
He comes on for the dough segment.
Well, he goes on a lot of vacations too.
He doesn't go
He's
on.
lazy.
It's like
Whoa! I am pro Russ. I'm not gonna.
I'm kidding. I love.
I'm not
Russell.
gonna stand here for this Russ bashing.
I love Russell.
Russ is-
I say that just as a joke.
My predictor is very good at predicting Russ. Well, let me tell you, who's going to be fast this week. Larson Bell. I mean, Denny's going to be fast. I mean, really, you're going on a limb here, Russ.
Hey,
I can talk. He's not here.
Don't hate the model.
Oh, the predictor. The predictor is like, that's easy. Like, I want to know like the inside stuff. Like, come on, Russ. I can look at a screen and tell you that they're going to be fast.
So no race this week to prepare for. So I figured we can just talk about the standings and who we think is.
Yeah,
I'll take those 4 names you just said as being good this week. Okay.
Yeah, your predictor. Is that your predictor?
That's my predictor.
What do you make of the bubble there at the bottom?
I mean, I think it's worth mentioning what consistency does right here in this. Logano
He was below the bubble
below it
2 weeks
And
ago.
2 weeks, two good runs. A win.
He was 20th 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
20th. Now he's 13th.
13th, and he's feeling comfortable too. Like it's not like it's.
I can assure you that nobody is comfortable from, I'd say even Logano.
One bad race.
Well,
man.
you have Daytona, and that can just be a deal breaker for all these guys.
The one thing though, I think that Logano has to feel comfortable in is most of the guys below him aren't gonna go get a 50-point day. Like they might,
That's fair.
but
No,
they're
that's a
not
good point.
consistently gonna get a big day.
And he
But
has
no,
momentum.
hold on here, because we all would
Are
have said
you a
the same.
Logano fan? Or
No,
do you
I'm just
don't
saying, like
him?
we go in. No, I'm saying we go in. You wouldn't have said this about Joey. Like going into Wilkesboro, you wouldn't have had Joey saying he could have that day.
No, but the reason I feel better about Joey, and you're right, I would have never have said that. But the fact that he won Wilkesboro and then he came back and he ran 3rd at Indy,
He did
they have momentum,
They
right?
do,
And
and
so
momentum's
that's going to
hard to
go
beat.
a ways.
Yes.
And now we're going to Iowa, which I think is going to be a good track for him as well.
And he doesn't need a 50-point day now.
No,
He just needs no disasters.
He can't
No
have
The thing
that
is,
day.
though, like, and Joey said this, and I think this is really important. He didn't really care about making the chase. He wants to win a championship. Like, so for him making it, I mean, he obviously wants to make it, but like, just because he makes it, they want to get rolling and get to where they can go try to compete for a title.
And I mean, beyond like we've said before on here, the champion is going to come out of the top 6 probably.
Maybe
That's what they say.
Yeah.
Listen, stop though for a second, because that's what everybody has said up to this point. But Reddick has proved that if things don't go well, it can fall apart really quick.
It can.
Or if they go well, like Christopher Bell's in 10th.
Yeah.
You tell me Bell can't string together.
I would
scroll
still
up a little bit.
I would still have him as a guy competing for the championship.
Like
Yeah,
as I was
mean,
watching the end of the race on Sunday, I'm sitting there going, all right, Denny's not going to win. Please not Bell. Please not Bell. Because
You think Denny can keep his momentum up throughout the rest of the year? Because here's why I ask. It's been going on for like 2 years now. He's been on this roll. Do you think it continues?
yeah, I mean,
well, he ain't
Bias
gonna
You're part of the
now.
Denny
I was gonna
bros.
say,
You
like,
shouldn't
you're
have
asking
ask
to.
him.
Never mind.
but here's the thing though, is 0 DNFs. That's the key. I mean, that's the big thing for him. And he's get some wins, but just get a 5th, get a 6th. Like just don't get a 20th.
But it's racing though, and sometimes, man, like you said, the average is out. You can't.
Well, you blow a left rear tire. Like some things are out of your control.
But do you think though that maybe he's changed his style where like Larson is still, I feel like racing old, like
I
he's
think
still
Kyle's
going for,
having to drive beyond.
I do. I think Kyle's he's trying to make
just-
up for it.
He's just hustling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
like
do.
I don't understand how they're behind. Like I thought when they got this new nose, I'm like, there's no way they're not
Yeah.
just going to dominate this year.
I thought they would be.
It just hasn't happened.
but do you think that's hurting him instead of like with the new format? You don't need to be hustling. Just go get yourself a 10th place.
But he doesn't know
Go-
that.
I don't think he knows. Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. I think this format hurts him where like a Chase Elliott
It
is
does.
better off.
It does, but Kyle's also the guy that can win 2 or 3 in a row, and
Correct.
you don't like he's got the ability to do
he's
that.
the guy that can have a 75-point day.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like-
2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, and not be
Like,
surprised at all.
No, if you told me right now that Kyle Larson won 2 out of the next 3 races,
Yeah. Okay. You're right.
I'm
Yeah,
not
that's
walking
right.
away like, whoa, oh,
Didn't see
my.
that coming.
Yeah, like-
that's right.
Like he has that ability, and that's big, man. Like that's tough. And I look at guys like, man, Chase Elliott could sometimes he comes out of nowhere. There was a while that we talked about all in the news was him and Allen. How long? And like then he wins a couple races or whatever. And I mean,
to answer your question though about Denny, the one thing though is like, can he continue it? Yes, but like he has a nice lead. But once the playoff starts, that lead gets shrunk.
Well, yeah, I mean, when it gets down to 25 points, I think that's a lot if everybody's consistent.
Yeah.
But one bad race,
Yeah.
you just get that. You can get wiped out immediately because those guys you're racing, they're not all going to have bad races.
mental wise, the one that I think he should be worried about that can put together races, Ryan Blaney, because I think Ryan's a really smart race car driver.
But what do you think about Penske and Ford on the tracks in the chase though?
I don't think we know.
I mean, Blaney, when you say the chase, you're talking Phoenix.
I'm talking the 10 races.
I'm just saying it gets better for Blaney as it goes.
But does it not play towards Denny's hand and Toyota?
I mean, it's always playing towards their hand, but you still have to execute. And
I would say there. I mean, I asked that like rhetorically. I
got
think
Darlington.
There's no doubt that Denny continues the success he's having. The thing about Denny that is so impressive, and I think a lot of it comes with his age and how hard he works, is that there's just not a lot of mistakes that are made.
No, that's what he does. He just doesn't make any mistakes. He knows when to take his 5th place finish. He knows when to do all them things, and he just doesn't push it beyond his means. He doesn't.
Yeah.
He doesn't overstep.
Yep.
If he's going to run 7th today, he's going to run 7th.
And he has just incredibly fast cars right now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, those fast cars. A bad day for Denny should be about a 7th.
Yep.
Who do
you know? And
who do you think, does anybody from below the bubble make it in, or do we have our 16 drivers?
I mean, I think 14th to, I don't know, man. It's tough because
Bubba's gonna make it in.
I think Bubba's in. The only one is, does SVG crash at Daytona? Like,
But he does pretty well at those tracks.
but I feel like
he could wreck out though. Yeah.
I mean,
He's pretty impressive. You can't. I'm telling you, like that guy. And I feel like we have to grade him a little bit on a curve because Trackhouse isn't where they need to be.
not at
Shane's
all.
doing great.
He's doing really well.
He's
doing really
overperformed.
And he's probably the best interview on TV ever. The fact that he can get away with saying,
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I don't know.
he
what
works
it
it
is.
in, and you're like, I swear
Yeah.
he just said
I
that.
don't even know if he goes.
He's had a lot of quotes this year.
I got the lead. What I do now. It's a
Yeah,
great
or
line.
Leaking out of both ends. That was last year, maybe.
He's funny. Yeah,
he
I like
is.
him.
But what I like about Shane is he's checking boxes off of
He's getting
different.
better.
He's getting better. He's progressing. Like he's still learning it and getting better, and it's showing, and you can see it. Like I don't think he had the greatest race at Indy, but he had a smart. Where did he end up? 16th, something like that.
I think he was like 27th actually.
Well, he was running around 16th.
Yeah, something happened at
16th.
the end though.
he did. He finished 16th.
Yeah,
Oh, he did.
Yeah, I mean that's.
He finished.
Where did he start?
25th.
Okay, like that's to me that's what I want to see.
Yeah, totally.
I mean that's people aren't going to notice that, but that's a solid day for.
Well,
for
start
SVG there.
below. Preece, you think he makes it? Or can he get in or not?
He's
I mean, so I
He's gonna
guess
stop taking tires.
can Preece outrun Cindric and SVG?
Preece is the only one that I think can do it.
I think Preece, the track's coming up. Preece should be very strong at Iowa and Richmond.
The Eric Jones one's interesting because there's some weeks you're like they're pretty fast, right? And then there's some weeks that it's a disaster.
But
Like,
there's not a lot of
consistency.
The ones where I notice him being fast are usually mile and a half.
Yeah, they're bigger tracks.
And we're getting ready to go to Iowa, Richmond, Loudon.
Whew.
Those are going to be not that there'll be a struggle, but there's not an edge.
I think that's where Legacy they're starting to get better, but there's some areas where
They definitely are better at the faster
Yeah.
tracks. It seems like they've found that.
I mean, if we think Preece can, then I think you at least have to think that Brad's got a shot.
I mean, honestly, we
What's
should have
Brad's
won.
weakness right now?
His spotter,
Yeah, probably. Well, me wrecking him most of the time. No.
wreck avoidance.
I don't know. I just feel like we just been getting caught up. We get caught up in things. We kind of shoot ourselves in the foot. But here late, I mean, we've got we finished 7th and 6th the last 2 weeks.
I feel like they're quiet. Like
that's
Brad's
the thing.
not on TV getting talked about a lot.
And last year we were the dominant car at Iowa. We just had so many cautions that the 24 made it on fuel because of all the cautions. We were.
So you have to feel really good then going there.
Yeah, I feel really good about going to Iowa and Richmond. And if we can make up if we go to how many points do you think we need to make up on Cindric to have a shot in the next 2 weeks? I mean, if we make up 10 a week, does that put you in the ballpark, or 15, 30? No, yeah. Because that puts you're within striking distance at that point easily, right?
You are.
I hate points. God, I hate
That's all we
points.
look at now.
We talk about it. It's so boring.
You're 40 points back,
Yeah. I mean,
and you got 3 races left.
and you're literally racing SVG
thing is,
and
though,
Cindric.
I was gonna say, like, if you can have a mega day, you make up a
Like
lot
Joey.
of ground.
Like if we go to Iowa and
Right.
have a Joey day, I mean,
Yep.
you could
You've got to score at least 10 points better the next 4 race each race.
and hope that's if they don't have any bad. If they have a bad race, that's which
Yeah, I love that we're discussing points, and
you do.
it can happen.
because last year we were talking about who could win to get
Yeah,
the
I
final
didn't like the
spot.
win and you're in thing either.
And then you're also like, if you
No.
look 5th through 10th is a dogfight too. Like
Yeah,
It's-
we got different areas that are
it's
having.
going to be so
yeah.
interesting and fun.
Yeah, we just need to go. I think if we have a couple solid single-digit finishes, we'll be in the hunt.
Like Carson Hocevar's in 5th, and Bell in 10th is only 29 points back.
I mean, all them guys, they can't afford to have bad days.
Yeah, I mean
If any of them guys have bad days, they're dropping in the points.
Larson dropped 2 points, 2 spots.
That's crazy, man. Look at Chase dropped 1. Hocevar dropped 2. Or +2, I'm sorry. Who's the sleeper in that group to you?
In which group?
The top, 8 or so.
Hocevar would be the one I'm worried about because I feel like he's incredibly fast, and if he can piece it all together, like he's fast at random tracks. Like you wouldn't say, like you said with Eric Jones, 1.5 miles, but I don't know, Hocevar I feel like just can be fast at a lot of different places.
Yeah, I think it gets harder the next couple. I think he's great at short tracks, and he's got natural speed there. But I don't think the cars are quite as good there as they are at 1.5 miles. To me, the sleeper, I still think Ryan Blaney sitting right there. The fact that Ryan Blaney's third right now,
Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought we were talking 5th down. I see. Yeah,
just
that's
in
fair.
top 6, top 6 or 8.
I just
or
like
whatever.
I don't know. When I think sleeper, I think shouldn't be like in my mind. I didn't have them being there at the beginning of the year.
Mine's Bell.
What'd you say?
Mine's Bell.
Sleeper?
If he could move up a couple more
I think
spots.
he's still a legit contender for the championship.
He's not a sleeper to me. He's supposed to be in the
Well,
top
because
4.
he's like
10th.
you said this. There's only 30 points from 10th to 5th. That could flip flop for
Yeah.
sure before the chase starts. And if I think everybody's put 6th place on the
That's kind of the
break.
yeah.
Yeah. There's definitely some guys that stand out to me that Hocevar, Suarez having great years. Buscher's just a quiet, solid. He's always kind of hangs out in that area, it seems like.
Yeah, he's a little silent assassin.
He is.
You just never hear of him, and then you look up and there he is.
Yeah, he hasn't had one race where you're like,
Do you guys think he and Preece are that funny? I don't mean like I don't think they're funny. I just mean like I didn't know that. Like they play these pranks on each other.
Yeah, they have this little thing
Like,
going.
is that their social media team that's coming up with that, or is that?
I think it's a little bit of both. I
Yeah.
think they're kind of into it a little bit too, kind of having fun with it. And
Well, I think what's funny is neither of them I think of as funny people.
no,
Like,
you
especially
get to
Buscher.
see it.
Like
yeah,
Buscher could
Buscher's
never
funny.
even smile. You know what
No,
I mean?
yeah.
Like just
they play it well off each other. And I think you're starting to see that more with drivers and their like characters through social media. So like we pre-taped a show for next week because Denny's off, and we had Todd Gillen and Connor Zillich filling in, and like I didn't realize how much Todd talks and like just hearing about the different things, and like I think you're starting to see what these drivers have, and they're showing a little more of themselves.
The look on Preece's face when he was doing that signing and Chris pulls up in that truck, like that still image. Have you seen it?
Yeah, well, and I watched that, but I didn't realize it was his truck.
Oh yeah, yeah. He didn't realize it either. But the look on his face when he saw it, okay, it's like it's funny to see their personality. It's good to see their personalities come out.
It is good.
And it's funny. All right, so that's this week's Dirty Modo segment, and it's been brought to you by FanDuel, the premier gaming destination in the United States. All right, well, thanks for joining us, Jamie. It was a pleasure having you on.
It was fun. I enjoyed it.
Travis enjoyed it as well, I'm sure.
Yeah, come back anytime.
All right. We'd like to thank you guys for joining us in the Arby's studio. Don't forget about Arby's new meat and 3 box. Get more meal for your money at Arby's. We have the meats.